Hello and welcome to this video. This is Crafty Ria. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Yes, I'm recycling a Christmas card, of course, but I'm going to be making this card into a shaker card since it's a snow globe. I had a request from a viewer to show shaker cards, so I thought I would give it a try. It's been a long time since I've made a shaker card, so please bear with me if there are some mistakes. We're just going to work through it together and we'll see what we come up with. So to start off with, you'll need some sort of a background. I went ahead and found this card that I had received in the mail, and it would be a perfect card to make a shaker card out of. And it's from one of my viewers. Her name is Karen. Thank you, Karen. I'm going to use this card and I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you're watching, Karen. My shaker part is going to be round. So I went ahead and went through all of my dies, my die cuts, to find a shape that would work with this, since it's really hard, at least for me, to cut a circle with scissors. So I found these. I'm going to need two round shapes. The first one needs to be bigger than, the part that I'm cutting out, the shaker part. And you'll see why in a minute. I'm going to take it off of this background so you can see the contrast. As you can see, this die is larger than the circle. And this die actually cuts on this very scalloped edge. So it will be large enough around that circle. So that is good. And I will set that aside. And then I have these round dies. And then I want my second one to be about the size of the circle or a little bit smaller. And then there's this one. And then I thought this one would have been too big, because I do need to have enough of a difference between these two to make a border where I could hide some tape. So I think I'm going to go ahead with these two. I think this one and this one, I think that is going to not be enough of a border. I'll cut it out and I'll see how it is. I can always cut the bigger one if I need to. So I'm going to use these two shapes, and my border then is going to look something like that, just to give you an idea. Another thing you're going to need is some 3D tape. I'm using this old roll that I've had a long time. It's by Duck. The reason I'm using this instead of what I normally use is because this is a little bit thicker and it'll give more room for the things inside to rattle around or shake around. Then you're going to need some sort of a paper to cut your frame with, and I got this kind of a silvery paper. I thought it went well with the color scheme. Then you're going to need something to be your glass. So I have this, actually it's a leftover page protector. I had cut it apart for some other project, and I think that is a good size. You can also use a clear sheet of acetate from your stickers. And this is another piece of acetate that was from some packaging. I always save this type of thing, but I think I'll go ahead and use the the page protector that's readily available. Most of us can get that at the store, so that will be good. Then you're going to need something to put inside the shaker, something to shake around. And I don't really have any sequins or anything too fancy, but I did go through my stash and I found these little tiny glass beads. I thought they went with the color scheme pretty well. And I also found some of this snow, and I thought it went well. I have several packages. I think I got them in swaps many years ago, and they've been sitting in my stash, so why not use what I have? I also found these clear white. They're little like diamond dots or something, but I think they are too thick. I think they are thicker than the foam tape I'm using, so I probably won't use them, but I wanted to get them out as an example to show you. Sequins right now are super popular. They're super in. I just haven't been out to the store to see if I can find some, but those make really good shaker cards. And I also have some of this silver glitter. It's a chunkier glitter. I think I got a 4-pack of this at the Dollar Tree. See, I have some red and some green, but I think maybe a little bit of silver in there because it's like a snow globe. So you use what you have, what you think is going to match your project. And then I also grabbed some other embellishments to decorate the card at the end. I'm going to go ahead and use this 5x7 card base because I do want the extra room around it. So I thought it would need a sentiment on top, and I thought maybe I could use one of these. I grabbed these extra snowflakes because I didn't know if I wanted to use them as an embellishment for around the card as well. So I'll set those to the side. And what I want to do first, before I get into too much, I want to decorate the back of this a little bit. Because on a shaker card, if it's sitting up, all of the stuff goes down to the bottom and you don't see it unless you shake it around. So I want to put some doodads on the back of this. So I'm going to do that first. So what I will do is cut this card. I'm going to cut it by hand just around this little circle. Carefully cut this off. Carefully cut this edge. Since this isn't totally a square card, I'm going to go ahead and just cut that, and I want to cut this edge to a circle as close as I can. There. It doesn't have to be perfect. Most of that will be covered up with the frame. So this is what we have for the background. I will probably cut that sentiment out and use it on the inside of the card, of course. I'm going to adhere this down to the back of the card to start off with. That way it has a base and it's in place for what I need. I'm just going to use my regular tape runner. I want to make sure the back is adhered down quite well because it's going to have a lot of heavy stuff on the top, and I don't want it to be pulling this up off of the card. I'm going to put it down close to the bottom of my card and just adhere it down real well. One other thing I forgot to show you is that I have this little tray which I will use to shake off the excess glitter because we're going to be doing a little bit of glittering. So I'm going to take this art glitter glue, which is made for glitter, and I'm going to put it on some of the spots back here that have like snowflakes, things where I'd want the glitter to adhere. So I'm going to put a couple pieces on these larger snowflakes, just a few dots of this glue up on the star of the tree, some of the stars, some of the larger snowflakes, and then just a couple places where there's a lot of snow on this tree. Nothing perfect, it's just to get some of that glitter up and about. I don't want to go too close to the edge, and I don't want to put too much down. I'll go ahead and set it inside of here and open up one of these and just shake it right on there as if I was doing regular glitter, because that's what I'm doing. And just shake it around and tap off the excess. Put a little bit on the bottom. And I'm going to set this aside to dry while I'm doing my other things. I'm going to set this aside because I'll reuse this right out of here. All right, so this is probably going to be the hard part, is to cut out this frame. I'm going to try to run both pieces through. I don't know if I should run them through together or separate. Maybe I should run them separate. I will run this one first through my die cutter. This is my Big Shot. I got this way back when on clearance, when this is the Ellison brand, when they were switching over to call them a Sizzix Big Shot, I think, or Big Kick. And this was on sale very reasonably. These were, I think at the time, over $100, and I think I got it for $40. I don't know what they cost now, probably not even that much anymore. I don't know. But I've had this for years. And sorry, everything is shaking. I apologize. It's very cumbersome on my desk. Sorry if it made you dizzy. Alright, so that left me with this big circle. And I'm going to put it back down and line this up in the middle. I want to try to have it even on all sides. I'm going to eyeball it the best I can to make it even, and I'm going to take this little piece of washi tape and just kind of stick it there just to help hold it in place. Alright, I think that's going to do. Let's give this one a try. Alright, so we do have that frame. And while I have this out, I'm going to cut a circle of my my backing. I'm thinking this larger one, yes, because you want it to be, you want your clear paper to be not quite as big as the very edge, but bigger than the center, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to need to cut this down a little bit. And this is doubled, so I only need one. So I'm going to cut it in half, and I'll save the other half for another project. Just put that down. Make sure it's hard to see because it's clear and invisible. I think I have it on there properly. We'll find out in a minute. And it didn't really cut all the way through since it's plastic and not paper, but that's okay. I'm going to leave that. I can go around that with my scissors. I at least have the shape cut out or embossed in there now. Okay. I should have ran it through more than once. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just trim this piece right around that circle. I'm making it actually even just a tad bit bigger. Okay. So this is going to need to adhere to the inner part of this circle. I didn't do a good trimming job, so let me trim it off just a little bit more. And what I have found in the past, I'll get some of this stuff out of the way, for this is that a tape works better than a liquid adhesive on this. Otherwise this will slide around so much. So I'm going to take my tape and run it all the way around the center of this. I'm trying to stay on the inside portion as close to the opening as I can, rather than towards the outside. How far did I come? It's hard to see because it's, you know, the tape is clear and it doesn't show up good on this silver. Alright, so I'm going to take this and just kind of line it up on there and just flatten it out. So now we have the top piece, which is a clear window. I'm just going to push it down really well, just to make sure it's really stuck to it. I don't want that part to fall apart at all. I'm going to take a tissue and wipe off the inside so there's no fingerprints or anything on it. That looks pretty good. If you have something that's anti-static, you could rub that up along there as well. And I never did even look on it on here to see how it looked over that. Yeah, I think that does look pretty good. That's what it's going to kind of look like. So then I'm going to take my tape, my double-sided foam tape, and I'm going to cut it into a little strip. And of course it is too wide, so I'm going to cut it in half. Alright, so I cut it in half and I took the backing off of the other side because there is a trick that we're going to do and it won't work if this paper backing is on the other side. I'm going to adhere it down here and push it down and move it along so it curves around. If you leave the tape, the backing on, it will not curve like that. And you'll have to cut a whole bunch of pieces. I suppose I could cut one really long. And when you put your next one down, you want them to touch. You don't want any holes, any gaps between this, between one piece of this and the next. And I'm going to really only work with these smaller pieces, I think, rather than making it bigger, because I think they would be a lot harder to work with. I'm going to take my tissue and just wipe off any fingerprints that I may have gotten on there. And I'm going to set that aside, and now I'm going to put the sparkles in here that I'm going to have as part of my shaker card. So I will get this back out again, and I'm just going to pour some right in the very center. I want to be careful that it does not get on the edge there. I don't know if that's going to be too much. I'm going to take some out. I think I put too much. I don't want any on the edge where that is going to stick, because it could make it not stick. I'm going to take some of these clear, they're kind of like a light blue glass beads. You can see them. in my hand. I'm going to put some of those right on top of this. These tend to roll everywhere, so you have to be careful where you put them. And again, I'm going to make sure none of them are on the very edge. And I'll put a little bit of this silver glitter on there too. There. All right. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it right down on this. I'm going to have to lean up and eyeball it as good as I can. There. And I want to push it down really, really well. Make sure that adhesive sticks really, really well. There we go. So now we have a shaker, and then when it's all down at the bottom, it's kind of the snow, maybe a little too much in there. I mean, you can't get one of these and have one of these without playing with it and shaking it around. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do for embellishing the card. I have these. I thought maybe one of these might look good there at the bottom. See how it looks at the top. I don't know if I want it at the bottom or at the top. Maybe at the bottom. I'm just going to set it there because I think I'm going to put something like this on the top. Let me see what the Merry Christmas looks like. I don't know that I like the red. How about the Season's Greetings? I think that would look pretty good on the top. Or this that says Joy to You. Let me try it. I'm not sure I'm completely sold on either one of those. I have that says Season's Greetings, but that might be too light of a blue. I don't know that I like the colors with it. Having a hard time getting it off of there in one piece. There. Maybe that would work across the top. I like the colors after all. All right, so I'm going to adhere that down. Season's Greetings. I'm going to keep this bow, I think, down at the bottom. And I'm going to take a couple of these little snowflakes. And put one on either side of the Season's Greetings. And I might want to put one kind of on the outside of that snow globe up there. So there we go. We have Season's Greetings. We have a really cool shaker and a neat bow at the bottom. Very cool. So what I will do for the inside, let me get these out of the way, find the inside of the card. I'm going to cut this embellishment out. not embellishment, sentiment. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm going to try to go as straight as I can, since I don't really have a straight line to go with for lining that up. But once I got one edge straight, then it's easy to make all 4 edges straight. I'm going to go ahead and stick it to the bottom of this, and I will cut it out of here. Thank you, Karen, for the card. Thanks for the idea to do a shaker card. I thought that was a lot of fun. And like I said, you can use any kind of a card you have, anything that you think would look cool with glass in front of it and shaking. It could be any kind of a design, not only for Christmas and not only for a snow globe. And I'll go ahead and glue this down. Actually, I'll tape it down to the inside. There we go. And there we go, we have a shaker card done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. And I hope to see you guys during the next video. Oh, and don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, because there'll be more videos coming and you don't want to miss any of them. So hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and leave me a comment below. Take care and go get crafting. Bye-bye.